Welcome to the 9th edition of Sailing the Solomons. In this edition we leave the Solomons and head towards Australia, and then slowly work our way down the coast back to Mooloolaba. We got half a weather window to get back to Australia, so we thought we'd get on that. We were headed from the top of Vella La Vella down to Sandbiss, had something to eat at Hans's restaurant there. Fantastic place there, really good people. Then headed down to Noro to check out. It was a real shame to leave the Solomons. We had such a fantastic time there. The people were sensational, the scenery spectacular. In fact, for us, the three most spectacular countries in the world in no particular order are the Solomon Islands, Switzerland and Iceland. Solomon Islands is right up there. The diving is world class. The people are fantastic. We did not have a negative experience the whole time we were in the Solomons. It's not an easy place to cruise. It's got its own set of difficulties with navigation and some other issues, but it is fantastic. It really is worthwhile going if you get the chance. We knew the first 50 mile out of the Solomons was going to be pretty nice sailing conditions, and then after that it was going to get very ordinary for a couple of days, and the forecasters weren't wrong. It did get very rough for the first 2 days out of the Solomons. We're just trying to keep the boat below 10 knots of boat speed to make it comfortable, and then the last 2 days we just roared along at 10 knots in fantastic sailing conditions. My apologies, we didn't get any footage of the real rough stuff, but it just wasn't really on our mind to get footage of that. It was just hang on and go. Around about 150 nautical miles northeast of Townsville is Flinders Reef. I was lying up late one afternoon to anchor there overnight, so we didn't have to go through the barrier reef in the dark. Not long after I was thinking about that, Border Force flew over us and said we were to go directly to Townsville. We weren't to stop anywhere, and that sort of spooked us a bit, so we decided just to head straight through to Townsville. As a result of that, we ended up having to go through the barrier reef at midnight, which is definitely not ideal, but well, that's Border Force. From Townsville, the wind just dropped out altogether, and we motored the last 40, but managed to pick up a Marlin, which is probably not ideal either. We got him to the boat and then got the lure and then got him going again, so all good there. The boat got a real test on this trip, especially the first 2 days out of the Solomons when it was rough. It was very windy, very rough. We were sailing very high. We were trying to slow the boat down to keep it under 10 knots, or at least 10 knots, just so we could, be a bit more comfortable, and it went really well. And then when it calmed down and the boat just roared along. The first thing you notice when you return to Australian waters is just how big, brown and dry the land is. After being away for quite a few months, it was great to have Locke and Steph on the boat for a week in the Whitsundays. We really did have a great time with them. sister Susan and her daughter Sarah called in for a few days while we're at Hamo. We were returning from a beach walk at Middle Percy Island one afternoon when a large squid flew out of the water, hit Lise from the chest and fell into the floor of the dinghy. And well, yeah, 2 nights of calamari. The Keppel Islands are one of our favourite places on the Australian coast, and every time we go there we're just never disappointed. It really is a spectacular place. Another one of our favourite spots on the coast is Harvey Bay, and in particular the western side of Fraser Island. The beaches are just fantastic, the wildlife is awesome, it really is a great place. Thanks very much for watching this edition of Sailing the Solomons. We really did have a great time on this trip. It's not only the scenery that was spectacular, but also the people, including the sailing community. They're a fantastic bunch of people. They really are.